There's a couple of games in a row we've had some slow starts here, and then second unit came in with a little more juice. We flipped to the zone.
Right.
That seemed to change the rhythm of the game again a little bit. Got us going, and then that group come out to start the third, really good, and then the game got a little, weird rhythmically, and tough game. They've doing a nice job. They're like I said before the game, they come out and they get it, they guard you, they're up. They're challenging. They're organized on D. They made it tough, and it was anybody's game really.
I think again you had like 6 guys between 16 points and 26. No one got more than 15 shots. Is that the way you want to build your offense most nights?
Yeah, I think so. To a certain extent, Doug. I think we're making the reads where they are, and we're taking what's there, right? And there usually is 1 or 2 guys that are going to be consistently up in numbers, and some nights, Serge is a little freer and gets a few more, Mark's a little freer, whatever. But it's been nice to see, all these guys scoring 15, 16, 18 points, a bunch of guys each night. It's good.
How concerned were you with the rebounding, Nick? It just seemed like they had lots of second chance opportunities.
Yeah, I think they're number 4 in the league, and I think as of late they're tops or right at the top in like last 10 or something like that. But they just got some big bodies, and they do a really good job of planting them right under the rim for the majority of the possession, right? And you're moving around and doing some stuff, and we didn't do a good enough job of moving them out of those spots that they planted themselves in.
We talked to Freddie on the radio. He said, well, we weren't rebounding anyway, so we might as well go to the zone and try to get stops. It just seemed like it was a chore all night.
Yeah, it was, and again, it wasn't like we weren't cognizant or aware of it or whatever, and knew that was important. And at halftime, we're at it again. They had 10 offensive rebounds for 20 points at the half. So it was it was kind of like, listen, we can, if we start rebounding, limit them to 1, we could maybe, break this thing open. But again, they stayed at it, and a couple guys got hot, and they started doing a good job of reading our double teams on the post, and I'm just happy. I thought we made some great offensive plays down the stretch. Right, we kicked out to OG for 1, Freddie hits 1, then Pascal did the last 2. 1 drive and 1 3. It was a pretty good offensive execution we needed down the stretch.
Ronde's ability at the top of that zone to be very active and disruptive, is that kind of what sets the tone up there in that?
Well, yeah, with the first group, we usually put Pascal up there. We like to have that guy's got to cover ground. Most of the other guys are in a pretty much zoned area, and that guy's he's covering from the top all the way down to the rim sometimes. So that guy's got to be energetic and willing to do some work and some running. So Ronde's just. Doesn't look the prettiest out there maybe, but he's pretty effective, right? He plays hard. He comes up with some plays. Like I said before the game, the team loves having him on the floor. I think he had a huge plus-minus tonight.
Yeah.
He impacts the game, and he's just with hustle and hard play.
You spoke before the game about getting Pascal to kind of being himself. How much can a couple big plays in a clutch situation like that help get him back where he needs to be?
Yeah, I thought we saw some more Pascal-like moments tonight. The start, straight downhill and in, a little bit more direct line drives, and then obviously the finish, right? And that's good. We haven't had lately. We haven't had a lot of kind of white knucklers down the stretch here, and where are we going with that, and how are we going to play through that, and we did a good job, I thought, of managing, getting it to the right spots.
Is it simple, Nick, as give Pascal the ball? You've got a play call, but give him the ball and let him make a decision?
It's we want him, we're looking at an action for him, right? And we're trying to find a certain way to do it, and obviously we were going out of coverage there, right, and it looked like, he did it just right one time. They didn't want to switch it, and they were jumping out, and he hezzoed one and blew by on the kind of hand back or whatever. There's a little moment there and then on the second one he stretched him out a little further, and again they didn't quite get back, and he just had room to pull the 3. So really good by our guys to organize that right, get the spacing right, get the right guys involved, and then finish it off.
Coach, you lead the league in challenges. I know it was kind of you do.
Awesome.
It was kind of
awesome.
I know you guys were making light of it early in the year.
We got to lead the league at something.
When you lost a few in a row, you guys joked about it a bunch. Is that something you're starting to get a better feel for and feel more comfortable with as the season goes on now?
Well, It's a really tricky thing, right? And I think that I think your first instinct is to save them to the end of the game, right, for a critical moment at the end of the game. However, there's been a couple games where I've used them in the first quarter when, we're up like 28-21 and you feel like you really got a chance to kind of put your imprint on the game, and something will go with, a charge or an and one to get taken away from you. And we reversed a couple of those and end up, 34-21 at the quarter rather than 28-25. And it just kind of has set, so I think if it's a high impact play, usually a charge that maybe is a and one or something, or you want to maybe take a look at if you think you're right, and that one Kyle's one of the league leader in charges. I just probably thought that there was no way he wasn't standing there for about 5 seconds, and the guy ran him over. So I figured we'd taken a bunch of charges and hadn't gotten any of them called, so we needed, we were playing good defense and not getting rewarded for it. So that's why I took that one there.